We were cooking today. What happened to you all, huh? And we're gonna talk about food today. We're gonna talk about cooking shit. What's up? We're talk about all kind of shit. So all these immigrants in here, we ought to learn how to do something with this shit, huh? Yeah, if any they can give us some. We learn how to eat their food, man. Had to. Too many of them in our country. We're gonna talk about cooking. Chinese. Mexican. Indonesian.
And want to believe she's innocent, but
Japanese.
maybe she did you a favor.
Korean.
What do you mean?
I'll eat kimchi. Kimchi tastes like shit.
Gift you got her. Now you can make a clean break and move on.
Cause of this shit. Fermented cabbage in the ground in a clay pot. I don't tell you that, did they?
It's not nothing. To Trina and our shared
Good boy, though.
Spencer.
Good for your innards.
Isn't that sweet? Tell me, Spencer, if I help
Like eating like shit every day.
kiss Trina to demonstrate all that shared passion.
Man, I feel like eating like shit every day. Fuck yeah.
I do.
You like eating like shit every day, eat kimchi. It's gonna be good for you, though. What's up? What's everybody's favorite dinner, man? Come on, dog. Come on, what's everybody's favorite dinner? Wait, bastards. Seen them, yeah. There you go, come on. Scooters. Oh, all messed up. What's it? Tell me they want all messages on here. What up, everybody? You watching my channel today? We talk about cooking.
I've been grateful for that. I mean, I've been grateful to be home, but I feel like
See my thumbnail, the
I'm focused more on
boots in the ground, some shit like that. Yeah, maybe I want to.
freedom.
But you talk about boots in the ground, but you get all kind of shit on here, huh? What up?
I think you're right.
Hey, what up, man? We gonna talk about cooking, huh? Yeah. Hey.
What time I've lost.
And if alive, subscribe to you and like. Thank you, man. I will definitely subscribe back to you too. You know, we're trying to help each other out here. You know what I mean? We help each other out. You figure the more we get, the better off we are. Yeah, I definitely subscribe back to you, and I know like your channel as well. There you go. Oh, no problem. You're very welcome, bro. Yeah, brother. So it's like Ariana. I'm sorry. Yeah, you get these people on here. You subscribe to their channel. Don't matter if you like it or not. Just watch it for a minute or two, and we all eventually get monetized. Don't matter if you like the channel or not. Really, the object here is to get monetized. Then you want to do your own thing. You know what I'm saying? See here.
I have Michael's father in my corner.
Yeah, see, I mean, we're all trying to help each other out here.
Michael loves in your
Go here.
Yes.
User author channel.
You?
Channel $2 or more. There, go here. Time of hide. Channel year 30 subscribers. It's cooking. Okay, hold on. I'm gonna subscribe to your channel here real quick here. I'm already put user time in this here. All right, I'm getting ready to subscribe to you here in just a minute here. I'm trying to figure out how to do it on this phone. I'm pretty new to this, so you gotta have to give me help here. I'll get it. I'm subscribed to get a little bit more up there on your shit. Cooking.
Get me out the general idea. Let's get out of here.
Yeah, true. All right, cooking. Okay, here we go. Let's go here, channel activity. As a moderator. I'd like to be a moderator. I'm gonna add you as a moderator. How's that?
What's this?
Where's the change chat mode? Remove chat messages. I put you there. Well, I'm gonna use you as a moderator. How's that? Here you go, man. I see. Here you go.
Nothing has changed since you told me you might be heading to San Francisco. I loved when you were staying at the house. I loved working with you.
Come on, there we go. There we go. I believe I got you at a subscription as well. Thank you. Hey, official Donnie 123. What's happening, bro?
Gainfully employed because
What's going on, man? You like my channel? I subscribe back to you. We subscribe to each other. It would be cool, just like I did to Ariana's. Ariana's life.
wanted to give us another try.
I got hers. We all help each other out to get monetized here. Right on, right on, right on, right on. Hit that like button too, bro. Right on, hit that like button for me.
the answer is no.
All I get you to ask, watch a couple minutes, just watch a couple minutes a day of my channel. I watch a couple minutes of yours, and we get up there.
People,
We want to help each other out. That's how we do this. We get monetized.
and the most salient point is that we had our chance. And
You
it
know,
didn't work. And to go back and
Hit that like button, and share it with other people, and we all share it, and I share it with other people, and we all get it up there.
we both do.
Thank you, appreciate that.
Out of context.
Official Donnie, appreciate that.
I was referring to the passion that Trina and I share for art history. Don't try to take it and turn it into something else just to justify what you have done.
Right on. Yeah, if you hit that like button for me, that'd be cool.
Every time you choose to believe Trina over me, to trust her over me, to have your little soul in
All right, you have a good day, bud. Thank you for subscribing to my channel, man. I appreciate that, buddy. I really do.
anyway.
Thank you. Come back again, see me again. Just watch it once or twice a day. That's all I ask. A couple minutes. There you go.
You wanna know why?
Get to sleep, bud.
It's not like that.
But I am.
Yeah, good night.
That's it.
I'm capable of anything, right?
Ariana, you still there?
To love but Trina, innocent
Yeah, you
Trina,
left me.
you do no wrong.
Sir, I thank you, bud, for doing that. That's pretty good. Thank you. Yeah, two more subscribers. That's good. There you go. Good to go. Subscribe to my channel. I subscribe back to yours. When I get done with everything, I go through the list and I'll subscribe back to everybody's channel when I'm done with this.
We've been ships passing lately, Mike.
That subscribe to mine. I just resubscribe back to them. When I get done, I go through my list of my comments here and find out who subscribed. Because a lot of times, my subscriptions won't say who subscribed to my channel. When I look at my subscriptions, I got to look in the comments.
Memorial for you.
You know what I mean? So it's like some people don't have their subscriptions posted public. So that's why I go through I'll go through a lot of my
You're right.
comments to find out who's actually subscribed. Just let me know if you subscribe so I can come back to you and do it that way.
If there is a
That way we get up there. Just watch it for a minute or 2 minutes, even up to 5 minutes if you can. I mean, if 1 or 2 minutes a day is great. If everybody did that, we'd all be monetized.
something, if we're sitting next to each other, you have to keep
I appreciate it all.
You're just gonna have to give me a signal or something. You have to pull your
I
ear.
appreciate it all, bro. I really do appreciate it all.
Stop me.
How about this? How about
There you go.
Take a breath and count to 10.
Was that good?
There you go.
That's perfect.
4 days.
The trick here is trying to get monetized. Everybody trick is to get monetized. And we can do our own channel, do whatever we want to do with our own channel. I like cooking myself. I like to do videos, music videos sometimes. Sometimes I report the news. This is a DK News channel. It's a better news channel, but I get a variety of things on my channel. So it's kind of hard to get a specific pinpoint of view of what we do on this channel, because there might be one day I might be talking about cooking. One day I might be talking about music. One day I may be talking about the Iran war. A lot of people don't like that, but I don't care if you like it or not. That's not the point. The point of it is we all get monetized. We all help each other here. I mean, like what's on your channel either. But you help me, I help you. That's the way it goes. You don't have to like each other to do it. How can you not like somebody you don't even know, really? I mean, you may not like their opinion on things, but you can't dislike the person personally. You know what I'm saying? Just like you can't really dislike a specific religion. Just because you don't like their religion, it doesn't mean that the person is not any good. Good Lord, people, get over it.
It doesn't matter what their version is. You knew who Jason was.
I don't agree with everything everybody got to say on here either, but that don't mean I can't respect their opinion. We're not all gonna like each other, but that's it.
Just the birthdays.
But I'm just asking you to subscribe to my channel. I'll subscribe to yours.
So yeah,
And that's all there is to it.
more than anything.
You know what I'm saying? You subscribe to my channel, I subscribe to yours. Just watch me for a couple of minutes, and I'll watch yours for a couple of minutes, and hope we get monetized that way.
Till it was already too late.
You spread the news to everybody out there. Leave me a comment or a thumbs up if you want to try to help monetize a little better. I'll give everybody a like, subscribe, and share. When I get done with everything, I go through here and I'll like, subscribe, and share to everybody who's who's been watching my channel and subscribed to my channel. I'll do the same to theirs when I get done going through there, because sometimes people,
And I
you know, like I said, that
would make a
they
difference to Wiley.
don't show up on my subscribers list, so I gotta go through my comments to find out who's actually subscribed. There you go.
Can we go home now, please?
There you go. But I can't write as fast as some of these guys can to put your name on the list, but I will put your name on the list. Actually, I'll be making a complete video of everyone who has subscribed to me and has liked my channel on a separate list. It will be, give me a day or two, and everybody's name will be on there who has actually subscribed to my channel. That's oh, well, I'm going to call from this date forward, okay? There you go. And there you go. You like Robert E. Lee? Oh, is that good or bad? Is that good or bad by Robert E. Lee? That's cool. Right on. Thank you, man. Appreciate it. You know, some people don't like him, I guess, depending where you're from, and some people do. I guess he was a good general in his own right, I guess. I don't know. It depends if you're from the north or the south. But that's good. He was the best competitor. Yeah, there you go. You know what I don't understand is you talk about Fort Bragg, and they changed the name to Fort Bragg, and they took it off because he was a Confederate. And when they changed over to what, Fort Liberty? Come on, man, that's a LGBTQ kind of crap thing to me. Fort Liberty, you know. I'm glad that they changed it back to Fort Bragg myself. I mean, I don't really care what, you know, the position was. Is that you know, people, they want to change things to fit their own needs, you know. And I'm sorry, but that's not the way it was. That's like changing. You know, I mean, that's like saying George Washington was black, he was white. You can't change shit like that. I'm sorry, it happened in the past. You can't change it. It's already been done. Yeah, well, thank you, Casino. Thank you. Appreciate that. Hit that like and subscribe button for me. Yeah, I get on here every once in a while. Hit that like and subscribe. We're trying to help each other out there. I mean, but what I do is, if you subscribe to me, let me know you subscribe to me through the comments here, because sometimes on my subscriptions where people have subscribed to me, it won't show up all the people who subscribe to me because they don't have it on a public. They don't have it. They're not publicized, or they don't advertise their people public.
And how do you feel about that?
Conflicted.
Not too bad. Not too bad. I'm able to eat. I had radiation treatment for my cancer, and I can eat a little bit better now because I'm done with my radiation treatment. I was having a hard time there for about a month, so I can actually, I got the medicine. I take about $500 a month for this meds I got to take just to eat. So it's like, kind of hard, but it's like I got to swallow this crap so I can eat, but. About me, insurance don't pay for everything. That's why I ask people, hey, if you can cash at me or PayPal me or something like that, get a couple of bucks so I can do this. I'm hoping I got every month of this to go through, but it's okay. Yeah, I love music. Sometimes my channel's about music, different kinds of music. And I just, that. Well, thank you. I appreciate that. Yeah, I do. I really do. Can you play by you, please? Well, I can't really play it on here. I'm trying to get I'm trying to get a podcast going to where I can actually play the whole music song. Because otherwise, if you don't do it right, then YouTube will actually they'll strike me as a what do you call it? Well, they'll strike me as a laugh. So, again.
You never answered my question.
Yeah, I could look it up. But I can't really play the whole song because just for the fact that YouTube will strike me and I'll take down my channel and everything I've worked for on here. So, I'm trying to get a podcast where I can actually play certain songs on here, music from different groups, like Bayou and
Your trick
and so forth. But I've been growing a beard about 2 weeks. I was completely bald here when I went through my chemo treatments, and
because I know you.
I was completely bald when I was going through chemo and my radiation. I was completely bald. So it took me about 2 weeks to get it all back. Believe it or not, it didn't take very much when they stopped doing the radiation. It grew back pretty quick. So that's kind of cool, I guess. I'm got a little bit more hair on my head there, and then getting back longer. It was completely bald, but about a bald right here. That's all on my head and my face. But I'm glad to see that. And Eli, yeah, I'll definitely look that up. I'm trying to get a podcast going here to where I can play more music, the full music session instead of just playing the shorts like I do. Okay. If I can, what you can do is go ahead and like and subscribe to my channel. If I get it on there, I can. Sometimes I do a lot of shorts with the musics, and you can kind of check out my channel that way until I get the full thing going.
I'm sorry, I can't give you.
It's, you know what I mean? Okay.
Unfortunately.
I don't have a full beard, but I've been growing
But maybe we can.
a goatee for a couple of months. Well, there you go. I really, honestly, I generally don't have a full beard. I just got kind of lazy because I've been going through chemo and stuff. So I usually normally have mine actually trimmed down to a real short goatee, actually, most of the time. Have you named your beard? No, haven't named my beard yet. Wally the Walrus, I guess. What do you want to call mine? I guess, I don't know. What's the name of your beard?
Hello? Willow?
What's your name of your beard, brother?
Willow? Are you there? Oh, shoot.
It's my birthday today. Can you sing me happy birthday? Understood. All right. Well, happy birthday to you, Santa Elaine. Okay, I'll just call you Santa. How's that? Happy birthday to you. Happy birthday to you.
Willow?
Happy birthday, dear Santa.
Are you there?
Happy birthday to you. And many more. Yeah, I hope I didn't mess that up too bad.
I'm at the PC.
And
Michael's been arrested.
how old are you today? Or is that a secret?
Just a reporter in front of Commissioner Ashford. Why?
You don't have to say.
Well,
It's okay. Just happy birthday to you, girl.
not so polite questions about Jocelyn's leaked video.
I'm on my way.
Sandy Line, huh? Well, that's good. Hi, it's just my birthday. Thank you. You having a minute? Well, thank you. I appreciate that. I'm not going to quit my day job, that's for sure. Well, I'm retired, but you get the drift out. There you go. So, how old are you, if you don't mind me asking?
TJ, Molly, and Jordan, of course, they're on saving the world. I'm the first one here. So.
Don't sell yourself short. You turned the invader from a scandal rat to
Said, well, cool. There you go. Not bad. You'd like and subscribe to my channel? That'd be great if you could.
Made a good team.
Yeah. I thought so.
Hey, how you doing there, Fatherson? Everybody hit that thumbs up, hit like and subscribe and share my channel. Watch it for at least 2 or 3 minutes a day. That helps me to get monetized. And again, in return, what I'll do is when I go through my channel at the end of the day, I'll go ahead and like and subscribe to y'all's channel. That way we all help each other out here like that. If not, that's cool. I understand. Just give me a thumbs up there, and that'd be great. Yeah, even a subscription would be wonderful help now. So how you doing, Fatherson?
Arrest me. You're not gonna want to miss out.
Spoke to Carly. She should be here soon.
She should be focused on Joss, not me.
I am doing everything I can to get justice for your sister. Just so you know, this doesn't help.
So where's everybody from here in the chat?
Unfortunately, because
Yeah, let me know where you're from. Santa Lane, where you from?
tomorrow,
Fatherson, where you from?
Smoltz decides to drop the charges. You are in here for the night.
Oh, wouldn't be the first time.
Peekaboo te vimos, where you
You
from?
sound exactly like Jason.
Ellie, where you from?
Drill with him.
Excel, where you from?
Check my records, but we were in the truck.
Official Donnie, where you from? There you go. And Ariana's Life, where you all from, man? Just let me know where you're from. Well, this could be a channel where we can all talk to each other here. You know, you don't have to just talk to me. You can talk to each other in here. Do it all.
Can I ask you a question?
Now, like a little chat group, little chat family here we got going here. We talk about whatever we want to on here.
Phyllis, it's good to see you again. I had no idea you were in Port Charles.
It's a relatively new development.
I forgot that you used
Bray Wyatt, so there you go.
Another
Oh, okay, I'm from Terre Haute, Indiana. I used to live in Southern California in San Bernardino.
How do you guys know each other?
We work together in
San Bernardino if I know. That's what we used to call it.
not with each
Yeah,
other.
but I'm in Terre Haute, Indiana now.
For another patient in the same
I moved out here about 30 years ago
Anita was your patient?
from San Bernardino.
You were such a stickler for privacy, I never knew.
So how do you know Nina?
Well, Harmony is Willow's mother. You know Willow, right?
You still like it out there in Southern Cal? Or it changed a lot? It was a lot different when I was growing up as a kid in the 60s. I tell you, it was a lot easier back then. I mean, we had our problems back then in the 60s, but man, it ain't nothing like it is now out there. I got a little sister that still lives out there somewhere, I think around the Riverside area, around to the Riverside area, I think, or Fontana, somewhere out there, down there in Southern Cal. I hadn't talked to her for about 30 years. We had some bad vibes, but you know, it is what it is. Hit that thumbs up. Let me know where you're from so I can subscribe to y'all channel when I get done with this.
You're still with us. Come on. Come on, wake up.
49 subscribers.
Willow. Willow. Hey.
Hey, can you talk to me? Stop that. Do you remember anything?
Yeah, well,
No,
49
no, it's all
subscribers.
fuzzy.
Okay. Can you follow the light?
Here. I put you down behind.
So I mean,
Well, what am I doing?
can I call someone for you?
My mom. You can call my mom.
Okay.
So how was your visit with Lemmy's friend?
There you go.
Nice.
Always good to hear.
Hey, all right. I'm really from the Midwest. Been living out there for a long time now. I love it out there.
Dr. Ashford.
Cool. Yeah, I used to live it out there too, but I haven't been out there for about 30 years. I just watch stuff on the news, but looks like the things in the news that are really happening are really like around the LA area, up around the Midwestern, or the mid section of the state there, maybe a little up north where they have a lot of trouble, I guess, from my understanding. Believe it or not, I mean, the Mexican border is down south, but it's just, I don't know, I just, like I said, I had a lot of my friends that are Mexican out there. I know, you know, the thing I miss really is the Mexican food, just because I'm from there, because you get a lot of Tex-Mex here in Terre Haute, Indiana. You get what I call Tex-Mex. I'm used to California side of Mexican food. That's the thing I miss the most, really. It's just one of the things where you get used to a certain style of food, and you kind of go with. I got to go to the store and get my own ingredients because they don't really. You got the Mexican restaurants out here, but they're just not the same as the California side. I'm a little bit partial to California Mexican food. Not that, you know, Tex-Mex is bad. They seem to fry their meat more, where the California style is more of like a steamed, like a real tender meat, you know, juicier meat, I think, with the way we cook it. I pressure cook my meat sometimes in my sauces, you know, and do it that way. That's why my meat's a little tender. I cook with a lot of pork, not really beef, but I use a lot of pork when I make my burritos. But I marinate it in, you know, like the green chilies and the tomatoes and all that stuff. You know,
We will let it
yeah,
go.
most of my family are friends.
I texted Dr. Nelson that I was bringing her down to admit her.
Yeah, there you go. That's it. I got a little sister that lives out there. I'm not sure. I haven't talked to her about 30 years, but maybe one of these days will break out that silent mode. They got everything just happen that way.
She's being held at the PCP overnight.
Very little. I know about enough to get me in trouble. My sister speaks it fluently. The one that I have an older sister here that speaks it fluently. She was married to to a Mexican for about 30 years, and she speaks it fluently. And the funny thing about it is, I guess my niece, she can speak it fluently too, and she's she's mentally challenged, but she can speak 2 languages and sign 2 languages, and but she'll never get a job past McDonald's, you know. But she can speak perfect English, perfect Spanish, and sign in both languages, you know. And it's a shame. She speaks perfect Spanish, and she's 48, but she's mentally challenged. So, you know, with me, I'm very, very limited on what I speak. Like I said, about enough to get me in trouble. You know, like I said, too bonita to a girl, and or whatever it is, and you know, get you slapped every time. I guess I don't know, but you know, whatever it is. But there you go. I know enough to say Paquito and yo quiero Taco Bell. How's that?
Hopefully by accident. So from there, we've also got cyberbullying and technology running amok.
I think food is probably the official language of all barriers.
Prevention has been illegal in New York State since 2019.
There you go.
There we go. A cherry on top.
There you go. That's good to be bilingual. Like I said, my niece is bilingual too, and it's like she's really talented, but you know, unfortunately, she'll never get a job at McDonald's. That's the unfortunate thing. And she could be a great interpreter. You know what I mean? And that's you know, that's unfortunate that that's what it is. You know, just and people that you know have the mental challenges, they kind of left out in the world. Like she probably outworked me under the table, and of course, that's not hard to do nowadays, I guess.
I acquired the West Coast newspapers to expand the Invaders' reach, and I'll leave tomorrow for San Francisco. Get everything started.
Look at you, bona fide media mogul.
I'm just the man who wanted a fresh start.
Well, you got it. And you know what? Doesn't happen for everyone.
Escape into a world of endless beauty and travel to faraway lands.
Yeah, I like Taco Bell every once in a while. There's it's you know Americanized hamburger meat, but you know I like Taco Bell. You know, I mean, I don't really consider that Mexican food. I can but it's a close second to a wannabe, I guess. But you know, I like it. There's a couple of Mexican restaurants here that are fairly what I call fairly authentic. You know, they serve the actual pork and the beef, burritos, and so forth. I call them hole-in-the-wall restaurants. And you know what I mean? They're not chain Mexican restaurants like Chili's or Chi-Chi's or whatever it is. They're not like that at all. They're made with real, you know. You got a couple Mexican families there. You know, turn a house into a restaurant type thing. I call them hole-in-the-wall restaurants. That's usually about the best restaurants I've come out here to find out with Mexican food. To get real authentic food out there. Yeah, if you like cow intestines, you know, or anything like that, you know, that's the place to go to, boy. Tongue tacos. Love tongue tacos. Can't get that at Taco Bell, buddy. You know, but you know, I like chicharrones. Yeah, that's good too. But you can't get that at Taco Bell. But don't get me wrong, I love Taco Bell too on different days. I get that about 90% of the time because every restaurant's a little bit more expensive, but you gotta splurge every once in a while when you get old. There you go. Hit that like and subscribe button for me if you would. Spread the news, man. Get down here at the end of the day, I'm gonna wind up. You got that right. You ever been to a hole-in-the-wall, what I call a hole-in-the-wall truck stop? I'm not talking about these, you know, interstate truck stops. I'm talking about these, like I tell you about these houses, like these Mexicans, you know, they turn a house into a restaurant, man. If you go down there to these hole-in-the-wall truck stops, my God, man, they feed you plates. I mean, they're not exactly the healthiest restaurants in the world, but man, they fill you up. They're heart clogging stuff. So you gotta be prepared to have your heart stop when you go to a real truck stop, a hole-in-the-wall truck stop, like you do some of these Mexican restaurants. You know, they're not the most healthiest food in the world, but man, they taste good. Man, this chicken. You're a chickentarian? There you go. I've been eating a lot of that lately. Get a chicken. You know, the price of meat's going up so much. about addicted to chicken myself. You'd be surprised how many ways you can make it. It taste good. Chinese, Mexican, Korean. Oh man, all different sauce on there, and you got a whole different meat. Little rice, you got the Chinese in there. You can make it spices. You can make it Mexican in there.
What do you say?
I mean, you'd be surprised what you can do with a chicken.
Other stories that you pitch me. But if you're really in line with the new direction that the invader is taking, why did Michael clock you?
I may have raised the possibility that his sister and her boyfriend put up the video themselves.
You provoked the victim's family.
There you go.
Sensationalizing
I like the little smaller ghettos myself, the little truck stops.
I would doubt your ability to report.
They generally feed you about 10 times more of what you're getting your money's worth. Like I said, they're kind of heart clogging,
The distinction.
but they are good.
It's held in high regard now.
If you're on a cholesterol diet, that wouldn't be the place to go.
Featuring a hot button family.
Mm.
As well as I knew the Corinthos name sounds.
Mhm.
So,
Yes, sir, I have. I've been to Tijuana a few times when I lived out in California. And I lived out in Oklahoma. Went down to Texas and Corpus Christi and went away of Nuevo Laredo, Texas and Mexico, that Nuevo Laredo side. And believe me, I thought Nuevo Laredo was a lot cleaner than Tijuana was. You know, I went down there when it was like 35,000 to 1 on the peso side. That had been about 30, 40 years ago.
you need to take better care of yourself.
And it was like 35,000 to 1
Do not need on your
on the peso side.
I know.
I don't know what it is now. I'm sure it's dropped now by then, but
I'm so embarrassed.
yeah, I've been to Tijuana and Nuevo Laredo. But I prefer Nuevo Laredo. It was a lot cleaner, a lot nicer.
I remember when I was a student nurse, I was on so much coffee trying to stay awake during clinicals that I spent half my shift doubled over in pain in the break room. Worst stomach ache of my life.
I can't even imagine that.
How about Blind Molly? So what's going on there?
Sucking up to me is not going to get a doctor any faster.
Thoughts on Blind Molly? Huh?
My job. I love what I do.
I don't know.
I really love it too.
What's going on with Blind Molly?
Teaching, I never thought I'd do anything else. Did you always want to be a nurse?
No, actually. But nursing's been good to me. I love caring for patients. It brings me joy. What are you doing here? I heard you were arrested. You all right? Fine. Diane, can you get him out of here?
Well, that's the plan.
Yeah, we can do.
Spending the night here unless
I feel like your family comes from.
DA, so
Wish me luck.
The Ensenada, yeah, I've been through. I went to Ensenada, Mexicali, Rosarito. I haven't been to Tecate though, but I think I've been through all of them except for
But I can help.
Tecate.
I don't want your help, but I don't need anything from you. Is that clear enough?
Yeah, I've been through Ensenada quite a few times. Mexicali, my sister lives up here, and Indiana. Her ex-husband lives from Mexicali, or Mexicali, and Rosarito.
She's just doing her job.
I was born and raised in the U.S., but yeah, that's everything with this kind of. Yeah, there you go. Ain't nothing wrong with that, brother. Ain't nothing wrong with that at all. So you got to be close to your family if you can. You only get them one shot at it.
Really? See, I didn't think you cared about anything these days except for Nina.
Okay, leave my personal life out of it.
It doesn't matter who you are, whether you're Mexican or Chinese or Japanese. You know, we all got to get along in this world somewhere, right?
Jocelyn isn't your family anymore.
Willow made it perfectly clear that she and Michael would not allow me to see Wiley.
And the theory is that we're helping each other out here to get monetized. We can make a little money on the side. You know what I mean?
Threatened to sue for visitation rights.
I don't blame you, but I wish a court battle could be avoided.
Yeah, you and me both. I don't want to put Wiley through that. Besides, Michael has proven that he is not above dirty tricks. I mean, who's to say he's not going to pull
It's
something
like, you know, I help you to get your subscribers up, and you help me get mine, and
So what's next?
Yeah, well, I thought I was going to talk to Harmony.
we get it up there. And if we actually have a promise, or not even a promise, but just to get to watch somebody's channel for at least 2 or 3 minutes a day, the more subscribers you have, the more people watch you just only 2 or 3 minutes a day. That's adding up to your amount of time you get to that 1 year mark to where you're going to get your subscriptions. You know what I'm saying? So it's like, you know, to get monetized. Well, hello, Mr. Sandwich 770. How you doing today? Yeah. You subscribe to my channel, I will definitely subscribe to yours. That's right. I have respect for everyone, regardless of their ethnicity, background.
What happened?
Well, you got to, you know, you got to have respect for everybody. We don't know each other personally, and you know, we just as long as we have each respect for what we're doing, you know, we're okay in this world. I'd rather exchange recipes and bullets many days of the week myself. I'm a little too old to be ducking bullets nowadays. Where are you from, Sandwich?
So grateful that you're in my life. I love you too.
You hit me a like and subscribe up there if you would, please. That'd be great. And I can watch your channel. I'll subscribe to your channel, and we'll help each other out here, just like I'm doing there, like Peekadoo for Emos and a couple of other ones on here. You know, at the end of the day, when I get to my channels, if you could let me know through your channel, you know, that you're subscribing to me, I can look it back up, and then that way we can do it. Because some people, I can't tell who's actually all subscribed to my channel on my subscriptions, because some of y'all don't have what you call publicized. You're not public, so I can't see you if you're not exactly allowed publicized. So if you leave me a comment, channel, I can then I can comment back to you and like and subscribe to your channel as well. Maybe watch it for a couple of minutes a day to help you get your monetization up. Excuse me. Yeah, we're all here helping each other out. Very true. I kind of like all types of music. I'm kind of partial to older type music, old time rock and roll. I love the Beatles. Now that they're probably one of the best groups out there is the Beatles. Myself, I grew up around the 60s and 70s, so the Beatles era type music, Rolling Stones, Mick Jagger. I like soft music. I like soft rock music. I like a little jazz every once in a while, country music. Kind of a variety. I really don't care for rap a whole lot, to be quite honest with you. But there is some rap I don't mind. You know, I mean, it depends on what it is. There's some the hard rock rap and the knocking each other down, and, you know, crap, and pulling a gun and popping caps in people's heads. I can't really do that, but you know, I'll definitely check out your channel. Yeah, well, thank you, brother. I'll definitely check out yours too, man. I mean, like I said, you know, it's one of those things where we all try to help each other out. I mean, it doesn't matter what our likes and dislikes are, as long as you respect a person. You know, have to agree to disagree on a lot of things. Really, I mean, I'm not here to change your mind on a lot of decisions. You ask me what I did, I'll try to tell you the truth about it. And if you don't like it, I don't know what to tell you. You know, I mean, I'm not gonna like everything you say to me either, but that don't mean we can't talk and be civil to each other. So, you know, that's how we work things out in this world. We try to, anyway. And you're my fellow brother, my bearded brother. Never heard anybody put that way, but that's pretty cool. I like that. You can pass it on. What I can do with your channel, if you want to, I can kind of throw your channel out there, and I can share your channel with other people and kind of help you build your stuff up too. Hope you get some monetized out of this thing. I think you need like 4,000 watchhours to be monetized for commercial wise, which really isn't very much money, but you know, it is something. It's a little bit of revenue more than what you got now. As I said, people donate to my channel. I don't care if it's 10 cents or $1, man. I mean, you know, you donate to a channel, it really helps me out, helps my meds out. About $500 a bottle just so I can eat, but because insurance don't pay for every damn thing, but unfortunately, but it is what it is. But you know, like I said, people, and you all help each other out. One spreads around the other one.
And protect its future. Explore your world every day on Earth Day 365.
It's like that right there. That actually knows my esophagus, so I can actually swallow better. It lasts about maybe a half hour before it starts wearing off, or I gotta stop drinking or something. But anyway, it is what it is. Yeah, I mean, I like talking to all kinds of people. I like talking to people. Somebody, I think I may be doing a cooking podcast about different kinds of foods. You know, and I bet there's different ways of making different foods. You know, because there's like Mexican. I'm really fond of Mexican food, and I like some Chinese food. I love German food a lot. Um, I think my favorite is probably Mexican. I'll say first to be from Southern California. I just grew up on it so much. So I make homemade tamales and stuff. But um, I just love. There's just a world of difference between that and the can out here. But like taquitos, oh man, tripas. I love tripas as long as they're fried. I don't like the rubbery tripas, but I love them when they're fried. Chorizo and eggs. Uh, to a certain degree, I do. I miss the mountains out there, and I miss the Mexican food. That's for sure. I don't really miss the 20-lane highways. No, getting a little too crowded out there for me. But yeah, I do miss the mountains out there. I grew up down in San Bernardino, where just below Big Bear and Lake Arrowhead. Around that area. I do miss it. Sometimes. But I know I kind of adapted here to the Midwest. It's a lot slower pace out here. A lot slower. You wouldn't believe that, you move from one place to the other. Kind of like if I was to move out there, I'd probably have a 2-bedroom ranch trap apartment. I mean, just to be quite honest with you. But moving from California to Indiana, you can live in a Taj Mahal. That's just a difference, but your pace is a lot slower out here. And that's just your economy is a lot slower out here than it is in California. And it's just, that's just the difference. When I try to tell somebody it's easier to move from California to Indiana than to go from Indiana to California with your money. That's just the way it is. But,
I don't have to mention Joss's or Cameron's name if they don't want me to.
But if you're happy where you're at, there you go.
Speak about their experience.
Well, yeah, I'm an ex-veteran, so I've been about halfway around the world 14 times, and a lot of people don't realize that what it's like to be in a different country. They just think of the United States or Mexico, and that's it. They never been anywhere else, or hell, half the people ain't even never been out of the state they've been in. I've been all over. I've been to California, Texas, New Mexico, Arizona, Nevada, Colorado, Oklahoma, Kansas, Missouri, Arkansas. Good Lord, I haven't been to Louisiana yet, but that's on my hit list, I guess, Louisiana. I've been through Georgia, Alabama, Tennessee, all beautiful down there. So the southern states are so gorgeous, but they're just, Tennessee and Kentucky, I mean, beautiful, beautiful states down there. But, it's like everyone has their own cooking style. You just, what Southern cooking is not necessarily Southern cooking. It's Southern cooking Georgia way, Southern cooking Alabama way, Southern cooking Louisiana way.
To learn that my baby was gone, I can't begin to express my regret.
Yeah, it'd be nice to travel the world. I was in the Army, so I got to do it for free.
It was all my mother's fault.
But, when I got to the United States, it was just basically going from one base to the other, so I had to travel through a lot of these states to get there. I was stationed out at Fort Stewart and Hunter Army Airfield. I was from California, so I was going from coast to coast, going from the west coast to the east coast. So I got from Germany went home on leave to Oklahoma, saw my mom in California, and went to Fort Stewart, Georgia, and in Savannah, Georgia, down by Savannah, where Hunter Army Airfield's at. So that's how I learned to get around all the southern states, the Midwest states. Been to Canada, been to New York. Good Lord, man. Been through Washington, D.C., saw the Capitol building, I was in the Army, I just saw everything I could see, because I knew I was going to be able to see it again. Just, you see it one time, and it's like,
I may have lost my
you at least say you've been there and saw it, and somebody else can talk about it, and I can say, yeah, I could actually been there. When somebody's on TV, I can say, yeah, I actually seen that.
Are you still feeling lightheaded?
It's kind of like you ever been to San Diego and the Navy bases down there, the battleships?
Do you think you could grab me a sandwich from the cafeteria?
Of course.
I mean, TV does not just, an aircraft carrier. When we were down in Long Beach, okay, a TV does not do an aircraft carrier justice. Okay, I'm sorry. You got to see it up close and personal to find out how massive those ships are, those Navy ships are out there. And I think it's amazing how huge they are. San Bernardino had Norton Air Force Base, so we had a lot of cargo planes there through Norton Air Force Base when it was opened up. I think they closed it down, my God, 40 years ago, I think, they closed Norton down. And I think they still have March Air Force Base there, March and Vandenberg, where they shoot the missiles off, which people don't understand it. They talk about when in Florida, when they're shooting the rockets up in Florida, people don't realize that they shoot a lot of missiles out there at Vandenberg. You just, don't see it. You look up in the sky, next thing you know, there's a missile trail.
It's beyond humiliating. She's being harassed online. I'm truly sorry. The effects of this are devastating, and I keep telling Jocelyn it's going to pass, and
There you
will.
go.
I know that, but
There you go. So what did you think of Virginia?
be sometime.
Yeah, Virginia, I went in the D.C. area, so it's kind of around the Virginia area a little bit.
On Joss's side.
You know what I mean? Around the
And yours.
kind of
If you don't want me to
where
do
Washington,
sorry, then I won't.
kind of stuck in that little area of the Virginia area. I thought it was kind of pretty through Virginia, really. I haven't been to Massachusetts, been to New York, flew over New Jersey, which is kind of cool.
You never know. Joss might find talking about this experience to be empowering. If she doesn't want it published, then I won't.
If you all set your notifications on
It's
them,
her call.
I'll let you know when I'm going to be online sometime to get your notifications on there,
Not a lot of time.
that we can know when I'm coming online. I'm not on air every night because I've been going through my treatments and stuff, so I'm going to get a little tired, but I'll eventually get back on more to a cycle. Well, I'm on more, but
Definitely.
I'd like to talk to people and find out where they're from.
Okay, what do you think that's about?
They're just so hopelessly in love.
Pinky?
We can wait another minute to be alone together.
Come here, I'll put you up.
Without.
It's amazing, isn't it?
Well,
Crazy in love after almost 10 years.
how old are you?
Yeah. That a perfect fit.
Maybe not getting married is the answer. Next time I'll try a domestic partnership. See if that works out any better.
Well, with all the mistakes we both made, with
Peekaboo,
all the
how old are you?
regrets we'll always have. There's one brilliant consolation. We have a son, and he is thriving.
Thriving's not even an adequate word, is it?
Right.
Well, as a veteran,
Okay.
I can only give you some advice, okay?
It's a nice,
Joining the military.
celebration of family.
I don't want to
And healthier than ever.
be accused of talking you into something because I'm a veteran, but the only thing I can tell you that if you are going to join the service, okay, you don't know what branch to go into, okay? Every recruiter is going to tell you that theirs is the best, okay? The Army, the Navy, the Air Force, Marines, and Marines are going to try to tell you that they're hard badasses and there's very few far out and blah, 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 blah. Well, I was in the Army, I was in the Military Police Corps, and we trained with the Marines, okay? So, go figure, but you have to kind of figure out, okay, like, what did you want to do when you go into the Army? I mean, do you want to be, what did you want to do? Okay, for example, you want to join the military, okay? The military has different types of,
She only needed an IV of saving.
yes, I say that is 18 plus, but what age range? I'll say maybe 18 to 25.
It's not like I haven't done this before.
It's not the point. You stepped outside the chain of command and you took it upon yourself to treat a patient. These protocols.
I'll say 18 to 25, somewhere around there.
We'll finish this discussion later.
You really, if you're going into the military, find out what jobs they have available, okay? Because if you're looking for something that's going to be, substantiating, like if you're going to be in the infantry, okay? Infantry, they make rank quick
I am so
in
sorry.
the Army. That's all there is to it. You could be an E5 in 2 to 3 years, which is a lot of money for the infantry. You can be E6, you could be, if you re-enlist or something like that for, 6 years, you can be E7 by the time when 6 years is up. But that's a lot of money, brother. You're talking about $3,000 or $4,000 a month. Just and you get your free barracks, your free food, your you know, all kind of stuff. You're just $4,000 in a month in the bank for you. Roughly, I don't know what they actually get paid now, but to kind of example, I was an E4 when I was making $720 a month as an E4. But you know, if you're married, they give you a little bit more than that. But keep in mind, this is 40 years ago since I was in. Okay, so that's the pay rate has changed. You can Google it. You can Google it up to find out what it is. Like infantry, like when they're making it, like they not necessarily what your MOS is, or your military job rank is, but it's what your rank is on the collar. My suggestion, if you're going to go in the Army, go to the infantry. It's a little bit rough. They're not pleasant. You make that rank on your collar. Get up to the E5. Get your rank up there, and then go on to your specialty field. Because you're going to make the same amount of money as somebody else is with that same rank, no matter what field you're in. If you want to go into something easier like finance, get that rank up there. It's going to take you a long time to get that rank up there in finance office. But with E5, if you're out there in the battlefield, you can make E5, E6 in 3 years, no problem. Okay? Especially nowadays, you'll be E6 in 3 years. You Google it up, find out how much they pay. Your Navy is a little bit different. Your Air Force is different. It's a lot easier job when you're boot camp in the Air Force and Navy. But, you know, that's in the Marines. Marines and Army are probably about the tougher between the four of them. But, you know, it's like, you know, but the Navy, you know, the Navy's very respectable. You know, I mean, they eat good. They get treated very well. They just have to live on a ship for 6 to 8 months out of the year, sometimes a year at a time, but before they dock. But they're good. The best option I can give you would probably be the Air Force. They have the best living quarters, the best food, and they're the most lax. Their boot camp ain't really tough at all. You know what I'm saying? They're very lax. They're very lenient. And I would try the Air Force first, and maybe the Navy, and then maybe the Army and Marine Corps. You know, we could go down the line like that. But if you get the Air Force, dude, you're in like Flint. And you get treated like God. I would stay in for 20 years if you was in the Air Force. I don't know why I didn't go in the Air Force. I should have. I was in Air Force town and went in the Army instead. But I'm thinking I'm trying to make that rank quick. But when I was in Carter, was in it froze everybody's pay. He was a lousy president. Good humanitarian, but a lousy president. I didn't like Carter at all. Then Reagan got in. He tried to change everything around, but I was getting out about that. And they asked me if I wanted to re-enlist, and I told them, F you, no, I'm not. You froze my pay once. You ain't going to do it again. So I got out, but you know, it's unfortunate. But Reagan turned things around to where Carter screwed things up. But you know, it's like, you know, it's just one of those things where, like I said, you know, you disrespect somebody, or I respect Carter as a man because he was a great humanitarian. When he got out of presidency, he was helping a lot of people. That's one thing I do respect out of Carter. He was just a lousy president. I'm not sure what I went for is. Okay, why don't you talk to somebody that were in the military and find out what they were doing? You know what I mean? There's a lot of different jobs in that military, but I would suggest you try to go into something that's going to maybe benefit you when you get out. If you decide to get it, you might decide to stay and do a 20-year retirement or 30-year retirement. Which hindsight's 20/20 for me. I wish I would have been retired. I would have been retired 20 years ago with a double retirement. You know, now I'd have been military retirement and civilian retirement. But you know, that's hindsight's all 20/20. But you know, I would try to do something that maybe you might want to enjoy doing when you get out of the service. If you decide to get out of the service, like a mechanic, you'd be a mechanic, a diesel mechanic, or a semi driver. You could be a truck driver.
You're gonna get your butt tripped.
You know what I mean? Just being a some of my wife said the cats in there, and one's going after the other one. Anyway, hold on a minute. We had a male cat we got to get fixed. And she said he's after the female cat, so holy shit. But talk to some of your people in that your friends that were or are still in the military, and get an idea, from them about what they thought about their different jobs. Where there's a lot of different jobs in the Army, and the military, and the different branches of service you might like or might not like, and then kind of go from there. But like I said, I would suggest you try to get something where you're going to gain your rank quick and cross train over to something else once you gain your rank up there. It's a lot more money for the same pay you're getting as somebody else is. That's what a lot of people did when they was in the Army. Just talking to an old veteran who's already been there and done that. Yeah, I mean, that's what I would do. I'd start out in the infantry, or the lowest fighting point there in each particular service to get that rank up there, and then go to your specialty zone. Just to get your rank up in there. You let these recruiters, and they're going to talk you out of your panties, But I said a lot of people are truck drivers. You go to the medical field. Now, here's the thing that what I don't understand is that in the Navy, if you want to be a medic or something like that, you want to be in the medical field, you go in the Army, and actually be a medic in the Army, they're actually certified as a medic, to where when you get out, you get actually certified as a medic. Now, if you go in the Navy, you're not certified, even though you're going through the same process of being a medic. You know what I'm saying? When you get out. So I didn't understand that. I don't know why the government does that. So if you're going to be a medic, I wouldn't go in the military. I wouldn't go in the Navy for that, because your training is the same as anybody else's service, but yet you're not going to get credit for it when you get out. So, but anyway, funny moments that you've experienced in the military. Well, when I was in, I said there's nothing worse than a second lieutenant with a map. Okay. I was a driver, a radio comm operator in a 60 gunner, and we were in a Jeep, and I had I don't want to say the honor, but I had the, or even privilege of having a second lieutenant in a Jeep. I had to drive him around, and we were going through what's called Reforge, or return of forces to Germany. I don't know if you know anything about that or not. That's back in the 70s.
No, you stop.
Back in the 70s, it's called Reforge, return of forces to Germany, where we had to battle the stateside units that were coming over to Germany in a mock military action.
Get in there.
Well, we were going down the Autobahn. There was only two ways of getting in East Germany, down the Autobahn, okay? And it's what they call them Autobahns. And one was going to Berlin, because you had this one route you can actually go through from back then, from West Germany to East Germany, okay? That was one Autobahn that led straight into Berlin. Okay, that's the only way you can get there. Well, we kept driving around the Jeep, driving around. Well, all of a sudden I saw these Jeeps on the side of the road. There were tanks on the side of the road, and they had these red stars on them. Well, our forces that we had what's called orange forces and blue forces. The blue forces were stateside forces, but they're the mock war games, and the German forces, or the overseas forces, were the orange forces. Okay, we had little orange stickers on the side of our Jeep to signify what force we were from. It's a mock war, that's what it was. But anyway, we were going down the Autobahn, and I saw these red stars on the side of these Jeeps. And I mean, we've been driving on an Autobahn now for a minute or two. There's their tank. On the side of the Autobahn, there were little, what they call pony soldiers. They're on horseback, and they're patrolling the Autobahn. And there are little red stars in the back of the horse's flaps, And I come to find out that we were halfway to Berlin, in Germany. And I told him, Map, I said, you can't really pull over on an Autobahn. You can, but only for a certain amount of time, for an emergency. So we pulled over and looked at the map. Well, the lieutenant had the map upside down. I said, sir, you got us going halfway into Russia right now, okay? You ever notice these Russian tanks over here? These are not ours. Okay, they got little stars on there. They're Russian stars on there. They're not ours. I looked around. I said, we got to get the hell out of here. So we had to make an immediate U-turn on the Autobahn to head back to West Berlin, or to West Germany, I'm sorry. Back to West Germany, because we were in East Germany, heading into Berlin, going to Russia. And holy shit, we gotta get the fuck out of here. You know, we're kind of out and we're 100 tanks to one little Jeep that was going in the wrong direction because the test read a map upside down. But that was, it was kind of funny, but not at the time. It's kind of like, oh shit, we're gonna die or what? You know, they got to start World War III or what? Which, that wouldn't have happened, but it was like, I can look back at it now and think, holy shit, never trust a second lieutenant with a map.
Oh my gosh, did we have a meeting? You'll have to excuse me. I need coffee. I usually stop by Perks on my way here, but then I realized I didn't have a free hand, and I keep forgetting Bailey's stroller was a cup holder.
But anyway, getting back there,
I just cannot.
and ask some of your family members what they had to do in the military, and ask them what they liked about it, and ask them what they didn't like about it. You might, but try not to let somebody influence you because they don't like something. Because just because I didn't like something doesn't mean you're not gonna like it. Okay. Sometimes you gotta take the bull by the horns and just go with it. Sometimes things are what you make it to be. If you go in the military, I would suggest you to take it every single advantage to visit every single country you can on the government's dime. You know what I'm saying? Just take advantage of it. If you have a leave, go to France, see France. Go to Germany, see Germany. Take some leave time and go to these different countries. Because the chances are you ain't never going to do that again. Just like I did. I went to see France. I was in Florida, England. Went to Australia. And man, I had a ball. But, had I been there longer, I probably went to Italy and France. You can make tours all over the world. They got little tours. You can go on your base, get little tours. Go to Africa. If you're in Germany, believe it or not, you can take a 30-day Eurail pass to Africa. Do it. Because you ain't never going to be able to see that shit again. Right now is a bad time to be traveling the world with as much wars going on. But, during peacetime, there will be a peacetime, son. And you just get on a train and you got to go see the world. Because how in the hell else you going to tell somebody else what it's like if you've never experienced yourself? I can say I've been there. I can say I've done that.
You don't have to do that.
But to where you can't. You know what I'm saying?
Until you're hurting. You are correct. Look, life is not exactly great at the moment. Okay, but how can I
Yeah, there you go. Like I said, sometimes you can plan, but you got to eventually make up your own mind. Like I said, some people could tell you, man, it's the greatest thing in the world, but they might like doing something like that. There you go.
Yeah, she's safe because of how you love and protected her. You're never going to forget that.
Well, there you go. Sometimes you need to do your own thing. It's okay to get other people's opinions on it, but that don't mean that you got to do it, what they say to do, or even take their word for it. It's like kind of like watching a movie where you get these people's opinion on whether they like a movie or not. It depends on whether you like that style of movie. You can't really say an opinion on movies.
I volunteered. Can I put you down for a team?
Get out of there, food.
Oh, and furthermore, can I?
Get out of there, food.
There you go. Like I said, it's respectful. It doesn't mean you don't like them or anything like that. You gotta do. You value their opinions, but sometimes you gotta do what you think is right for yourself.
Jake's innocent. He has an alibi.
Wow, what a relief. Where was he?
Library?
Why wouldn't he just say that in the first place?
I guess he didn't want Elizabeth knowing he was video conferencing with his friends.
You can, like I said, ask them their opinions. You can get a lot of insight.
All I know is Elizabeth is...
Oh, hi, Linda. You're from Denver. I've been to Colorado Springs.
Oh, they look happy.
How you doing today?
They do.
You want to go say hello?
No. I don't want to be pushy.
You've been pushing about getting me into your bed.
Well, that's just common sense. We could have a lot of fun. Playing music together.
Linda, I appreciate if you like and subscribe to my channel. It helps my logarithm out. If you like and subscribe, hit a thumbs up there if you like it. And in turn, I'll try to subscribe back to your channel.
Here is to your new home.
It just helps my logarithm out and try to get monetized here, and that's what we do. We talk about everything on here in this channel here, and anything we want to. I'm trying to make it a community kind of a talk channel here where everybody can talk about what they want to talk about to each other. You can make friends on here and talk to them about anything, food. The only thing I ask is everybody be respectful to everybody on here, because everybody's not going to agree with everybody. You know, that's all there is to it. I mean, one day I might talk about the Iran war, or I might talk about illegal immigrants and so forth, or I might talk about food. But you know, we all have to be respectful on here. We're not really trying to change everybody's mind. Just get it up, get it out of the open on this channel instead of about fist fighting in the street and killing each other.
But now that we're out, Jake and Betsy, we're back to square one. And I certainly don't like knowing that someone's been in and out of my house doing all these creepy things.
Right. But, you know, you do have that key in that side that allows access.
Thank you, Lynette. I appreciate that. Will do. I mean, I have a Cash App and a PayPal. You know, if you,
I'm gonna make sure this.
you know, you can donate to whatever to my channel, that's cool. If you can't, don't worry about it. I just appreciate you watching my channel. That gets me up there on my monetization just by watching it for a few minutes a day. And does the same thing, but I do appreciate it. Every little bit helps. But
Actually, Michael was just arrested.
so how do you like it in Denver? At a Mile High Stadium. Are you a Broncos fan?
We have no problem. In fact, I found our collaboration very beneficial so far. I hope you feel the same.
Well, you know, I was surprised because everything's going smoothly when you asked to meet with me.
I used to be a Denver Broncos fan way back when John Elway was first starting out.
And since our territories are consolidated,
And then I moved to Indiana, and then Peyton Manning was in play. Just started out when I came out here to Indiana. So I tell you the years apart it's been since I've been there. There you go. That's all right.
Yeah, consider that.
That's quite all right. You don't have to be a Broncos fan just to be there. I mean, you know, people really like football. I don't really like football, but on this channel, we kind of like to talk about a little bit of things. I'm trying to make a cooking podcast here eventually, maybe get a podcast with music going here. But it's just really hard to do the music part because you get copyrighted with a copyright strike on it, and they take your channel down, and all the monetization, the money you ever made would be gone in a heartbeat. So I really can't do a full music thing on here. I could do some shorts on here. If you'd like to scroll through my channel log and see some of my shorts, I can get different types of music channels there. But I like to eventually do a cooking channel, or maybe like a cooking week where I'm cooking different foods from around the world. I've been halfway around the world 14 times, so I'm trying to maybe show people different foods around the world that way. I mean, I like Mexican food. I've been to California, a lot of Mexican food there. The difference between California and Texas style foods, how the differences are. You know, the thing about cooking channels are that they, you know, I'd say, but these people taste their food. Of course, they're going to like their food, and they go, God, it's so good. You know, they don't want to know. You know, they're going to show you puking up in a trash can that they made a screwed up food, but. You know, I don't think there's too many people that are going to sit there and say throw up and puke on their food, but, you know, you could probably guess, probably by some of the ingredients in there, what it would taste like, I guess, when you're watching somebody's channel, because most of the ingredients, I mean, like in Mexican food, it's basically all the same ingredients, and they're all like tomatoes, garlic, and onions, and so forth. It's like, you know.
Chase stopped by to drop off a few things I left at the house. Okay, more than a few.
You know, I'm not sure if I'd like to open my own restaurant. The restaurant business is extremely, extremely tough. You know, it's you don't survive that first 2 years, you're on your butt. You know, and that's right now. I think the way the economy is, I don't even think I'd try it right now. Just the way the food prices are up, you'd have to have. You know what I'm saying? And I'm not into jacking up people's food, and I'm already retired, and which would be a great time to start a restaurant up, but just the point of you know, having the economy the way it is right now, and the unstability of the market prices, I'd have to charge too much, and I hate to say it, but I'd pay my waitresses a lot more than just $2.75 an hour plus tips. You know, I mean, I'd have to give them some kind of a decent wage for waitresses. They kind of they really get the bad end of the stick. You know, to give them something else. Because seriously, man, they're the ones going to make or break your restaurant. Those waitresses sometimes, that and a good chef. But
We haven't talked about it yet.
Well, what's stopping the two of you?
Elizabeth got a little spooked. Soon as all the
you know,
crazy
you keep things fresh,
going on
and
elsewhere.
it's
Speed
very expensive to keep things fresh. I like to keep mine fresh as I could possibly get it. You know, straight from the garden on it. And, you know, straight from the garden. And like I said, I'm from California. You can grow anything you want there all year round out there. Cilantro, avocados, man. I mean, onions, tomatoes, pickled lettuce, and, you know, everything you want to. You don't have to go to Mexico to get the shit. You can grow right there in your own damn backyard, pretty much. And, you know, fresh is the best. And if anybody ever had any hot sauce or made homemade hot sauce, there's a world of difference between buying ripe tomatoes off the vine than it is opening up that can with all them preservatives in there and making hot sauce that way. Fresh is the way to go. Fresh will get you customers. But fresh can be expensive because now you got to gauge how many people are going to eat there because you don't want to keep your crap, you know, like a week and then after that you got to throw it out because, you know, to me it's not fresh. You can, maybe 2 or 3 days maybe, but after that I'm not going to consider it fresh. I'm considered done. Fresh is the first day of getting it. But you gotta keep it for, you know, 2 or 3 days, your sauces and stuff. But after that, throw them out because it's no longer fresh. And people aren't stupid; they know that stuff. They taste it. They know when you're trying to snowball their asses. But, they know when the things taste out of a can and what things what a vine wrapped tomato tastes like. There's a world of difference.
This becomes a story about a kingpin's stepdaughter.
Well, you know what? I'm gonna talk to Sonny and tell him he's gotta stay out of it.
Good luck with that. There's no knowing till Sonny what to do.
Please, define your rules.
No drugs. Period. Full stop.
Yeah, no, you really can't go wrong with a food truck. Not if you did. You're thinking of a food truck as like a
To facilitate
oh.
the process.
Won't that create more work for you?
Like oh crap, like you go from like different places and you know what I'm saying, you go from like job sites, I guess, you know, like a food truck like that.
Sure there are no disruptions on my end.
You do pretty good on those.
Anything else?
You really could.
I heard about you.
I know a lot of people, they go there, they usually go there for about, you know, 20 minutes. They got their little routes they take and, you know, they go at different times and there you go.
Your family. I'll take care of mine.
Oh, I do.
Some of the trucks will stop for about maybe 10, 15 minutes at a place, let them out there go so they can try to hit 2 or 3 close places at one time to get shit out there. But I used to like the Mexican food truck. They would stop off in places. They'd stop off the businesses. I'd always get the taquitos because they were quick, they're easy. They usually already had them kind of pre-made a little bit. They just stick them in the grease and, you know, warm up the grease, put them on your platos, and you put the avocado cobble on top of them. Man, that's the best. That's why I miss about the California style. I mean, they have some Mexican food trucks up here too, but it's just not the same.
She's perfect for me.
What if we try for sexy and resourceful, with the fashion sense? Then maybe loves to dance. Oh, I know some wine.
Are you still looking for me?
Probably actually do pretty good making a food truck, actually. Probably more so in California than you could here. There's not really many people here. In California, you got, you know, several million people out there that are doing it.
How goes it, Dusty?
I don't know what the licensing fees are out there for it. I mean, make it worth your while, but you be your own business, that's for sure.
And I'm going to take the MCATs.
Oh my.
Wonderful.
I'm going to organize a round of mimosas. They're not the only ones who have something to say.
Right. Hey, Linda, you still with me, girl?
Advice. I stopped pushing Trina to stay away from Spencer.
Good.
Yeah, she must have left. That's okay. We got this.
You don't have to worry about anything.
There we go. We got this. Yeah.
Trina's got a good head on her shoulders.
You know, when I get on my,
You can trust her decisions.
on my,
And I do.
my specific
I do.
class.
I'm glad that Trina's learning how to live life
Let's
on
see.
her own. I want that
I
for
get
her.
all my employees.
But it's times
Hey,
like these that I wish I could just
I'm gonna get more
knock on her
specifically.
bedroom door,
That's my
poke my
guy.
head in there, ask her how her day
Well,
was,
there you go.
and she would confide in me,
Hmm.
and we just talk.
Get all my employees.
No matter the age,
Get
parenting
all
is
my
hard.
employees. I'm monkey.
We'd like
There you go.
Roses with your best champagne.
There you go.
I'm rooting for you.
You know, I could tell you what, you treat your workers fine. You can pay them. You can pay them almost next to nothing, but as long as you treat them good, they'll stay with you. That's what I've learned in my life. Obviously, I'm retired now, and I made anywhere from $40 an hour down to, you know, to minimum wage of $2.75 an hour back starting out as a kid. And I found out that, you know, if you make an average wage, you treat them a day's wage for an honest day's work, and you treat them fine, and you help them out, they will be your best loyal customers. They'll be your best loyal employers.
Eventually.
And that's what it is.
We're still movie buddies. Although she can be a little possessive of popcorn.
Oh, you're fine with that, though. But
Sometimes you gotta show compassion to your employees. You too rough on them, you sleep like a slave dog, they'll leave you in a heartbeat. They don't care how much you're paying them.
Friends. Hey, those are his words.
Been there and done that.
She saw something wrong
You treat me nice, and
Yeah, but do you
yeah, there's has to be a certain point where, you know, you got a little bit, you need a little bit more money to go somewhere else, but that's true. But you know, but that is true. You got to make a little bit more money somewhere else, but you always want to keep your foot
awkward? I'm sorry. It's
open
not you, it's me.
when you're leaving someplace. For example, if I like working for you and you're treating me good, but I say, you know what, I know you can't really pay me that much more, but I need a little bit more for my family, you know, and you can't really provide that for me. I'm gonna say, well, you know what, I'm sorry, but I love working for you, brother. You know, and I just want to give you a couple weeks' notice. Hey, man, I gotta go here. It's nothing against you. It's because I had to make a little bit more money for my family. Okay, if you do it that way, you leave that way, you're gonna respect me a lot more by saying, hey, I'm sorry it didn't work out. Come back to me. You were a good employee. You know what I'm saying? You know, but if you just leave up the butt and say, you know, if I say, hey, kiss my ass, I'm going somewhere else, I'll make a lot more money, you know, all of a sudden that don't work out. I'm kind of screwing myself over because now I can't go back to you because I done this to you. You know what I'm saying? So it's like, you know, you got to have mutual respect on that. There's many times where people will try to go to get a little bit more money, not because they want to, because when your landlord's raising your rent and your employee can't keep up with that, you kind of had to go with more money, or at least get another job. And if you have to do that, you got to have to compromise. You got to say, look, you got to say, look, here's what the deal is. I know you can't pay me very much, but if you work with me on my hours here so I can get another job on the side, you know what I'm saying? You know, and if you can just work with me that way, and maybe I can stay with you, and you know, we can help each other out that way. That's how you work things out. That's how you keep your people. You know what I'm saying? A bit of more. You know, that you sound like you'd be one hell of a boss. You know, hell, I'd work for you for that. You know what I mean? You know, it's almost living in a dream world. You know.
Becoming a doctor's a major endeavor, and I will have to work while I'm in school. If
You treat your people like family. You give them a land. You say, look, here's a little bit of land. You can grow you can farm on or whatever it is. You can grow. You're giving up to grow some vegetables or gardens and stuff. You get them, that's all you really need to give people. You don't need to give them a whole lot of shit to be happy. If they know that they own that piece of property, they know that they own that and stuff, they're not going to leave you. What do they need all that money for if their land's paid off? You know what I'm saying? Then they won't need to make them much fun. Man, they'd be working for you for the rest of their life. They'd be happy as hell. You give them a goat, give them a shrimp, they'll get their own milk for free. They get their own cattle for free. They get their own vegetables for free. They'll work for you for damn near free just because you gave it to them. You know what I'm saying? It's like, You know, unfortunately, not everybody like that.
What's up with this rigor after all this time? I don't understand.
You know, it's a shame, but
Well, about not having
we all can't get together like that. You know, the Amish people, you know, think how they live. You know, their barn burned down. Shit, they got about 15,000 people building their house back up. Yeah.
Hope you were enjoying your morning.
even more so. Now that you're here, I see you and Portia are celebrating.
Yeah, we just closed on the house.
Sometimes we learn from other cultures. Yeah, if you want to learn how to eat when you're poor,
You know what? I think that I'm gonna go and offer Portia my congratulations.
you got to figure out
Have a seat.
what the Mexicans eat, what the Chinese eat, what the Japanese eat. Trust me. Americans are
You didn't interrupt.
probably the, I hate to say this, but the fattest, most unhealthy people on earth, okay?
Little cocky, aren't you?
Well, you know, it's called.
We eat everything, but we eat large portions of meat. If you go to Hispanic food or Mexican, I mean, you're Mexican, but if you ever gone to a Mexican's house, speaking to the white people out there, especially in California, there's always something cooking on that stove. You don't need a heater. Okay. There's always something cooking on the stove in a Mexican's house. Okay, whether it be burritos, taquitos, tamales, I don't know, they're doing something there. The main mama's in there doing something on that damn stove. It's like Chinese. Chinese got to go on. They always make something. They make things from scratch. The tortilla are from scratch. The burritos, everything is from scratch. Ground up, side, you know, raising the hog out in the backyard, but everything's doing it from scratch out in California. Many of them done read, I call it. Yeah, kind of interesting. Picazone Buforest. I don't know how you create a rainbow. That'd be kind of hard to do, though.
Join the pack. Watch the Dog Whisperer channel.
Interesting.
To Stingray Cityscapes.
You know, they've been in the Amazon rainforest.
To the sound of relaxing
Picazone
tempo music.
Buforest.
To Stingray Cityscapes.
Before, there you go. That's very interesting.
Get right to the point. I have news for you and for everyone.
Well, I prefer he, she.
Ready?
Hey, yo man, what's up? Hi, Eden. Hey, right on. That's cool, man. You get the cash at me? The cash at me a couple bucks there. You know.
You must be excited.
Yes, thank you so much. And I admit it's a huge step. But it feels right.
Yeah, that works, man. I'll take $1. No big deal to me. I'll take what it is.
Are you saying that you and Marshall are starting to
It don't matter, buddy. I got my cash app up there on my the profile there. You gave you my cash app. Let's see me up there.
I'm not buying this lack of confidence routine. You're Marshall Ashford, you're a musician.
Yeah, that's my cat there meowing.
I do. Yes.
That was Tiki. I got about 6 cats. I'll take the $1.
I like her. I respect her.
Yeah, he's in there meowing away.
Maybe I just want to romance her.
Whoa.
You know, maybe that's
There you go.
why
There you go. Right on.
so much out of
Yeah, you got my cat. You got my cash app. Little icon up there. You can scan that or cash app. Yeah, there you go. Oops. There you go. Yeah, that's fine. You call me dude. Okay, man. That's good. Don't call me late for dinner. Would be cool.
Yeah, but why was Gladys hell-bent on stopping them? I thought she and Sasha were on better terms. I mean, Gladys really stepped up when they lost little Leon.
You can donate whatever you want to donate, brother.
I don't think it was about last.
I just appreciate it.
Sasha, I think it was that Gladys just thought it was all happening really fast.
Well, right on, brother. I appreciate that. I really do, man.
I'm saying this, but Gladys
You appreciate that.
Sasha and Brenda
just lost their
Did you do my Cash App or my PayPal?
right? But sometimes an intense emotional experience can really bring two people together.
Holy shit, yeah. Damn. I appreciate it. Check that out.
Relationship will only
Is
be
that to my Cash App or my PayPal, brother? Appreciate it.
I'm somewhere in between being righteously indignant and mortified. I was able to convince him that I'm not angry with him for wanting to communicate with his grandparents. However, I'm furious with my mom and dad for encouraging him to keep secrets. But what really bothers me is how upset Jake is that I thought he was behind all of these strange happenings. Not that I blame him.
Don't be so hard on yourself.
Yeah, well. I really appreciate
So, Aiden, where you from, brother?
the help you've given me with the boys. Now there's this thing going on with Cam.
Where you from, Aiden?
We don't have to talk about it right now.
I want to. And whatever we are, whatever we become, I'm gonna be there for you. Because I think we're stronger when we're together. I know I am. So I'm by your side for whatever comes next. I know I just said whatever we 10 times, but I need you to know.
Oh, yeah.
You're not alone anymore. I mean, there's probably times you're gonna be on your own, but not necessarily. Yeah.
I mean, what's the show you're watching?
Okay.
I'm not sure. My wife's there watching some kind of a movie. I think it's a.
Gotta be real with each other.
I think it's a show. I think it's General Hospital or something like that. I think. I don't know. I'm in the kitchen right now.
Both. I'm talking about Epiphany. Let her see who you really are. No.
She was in General Hospital, like he has General Hospital mode.
What are you, a werewolf or something? Right, okay, but no, I mean, I'm serious. Instead of trying to be who you think she wants you to be.
Adrian, I appreciate that. Thank you very much.
I could use that.
Wonderful, wonderful man. Wonderful. Hit me a thumbs up, like and subscribe to my channel if you would, please. That'd help me out a lot too. Help me get my monetization up a little bit.
Yes, she did. And she was very good at it.
Hello.
Much better than me. But I couldn't let her know about that. So there I was. Trying.
But Janie, I appreciate that, you know, and look at all through the street. Yes, I do appreciate that. That's good. I'm just right now. I'm recovering from cancer. I'm in a remission, so to speak. I've gone through about 30 treatments of radiation and about 40 treatments of chemo. So I'm growing my hair back.
Put some cold water on.
And I'm growing all my hair back from all my chemo treatments and my radiation. So yeah, it feels good. I just have the radiation. It was so close to my heart and my esophagus that it's hard for me to swallow. So I had to take medication to be able to swallow food. And I was like, it was like $500 bottle for that crap, just so I can eat and swallow now. But you know, excuse me, but you know, insurance don't pay for everything, but you know, I try. But anyway, that's what I said. If you donate to my channel, that'd be great. You know, I got a Cash App, PayPal. It's all in my description. If you could, if you can't, I'd appreciate it if you just even subscribe to my channel. Just watch my channel even 2 minutes a day. That helped me get up to my level where I can actually, you know, start getting monetized, you know. So if you do that, that'd be great if you can. Jane, that's okay. I appreciate you. I really do. And I'm a Christian too, and I do believe that, you know, I'm not the perfect Christian by any sense of the word, but I do believe in God. I believe He has things in store for everybody. Just one of them things where we got to try to do there. Okay. Peekaboo, you take care too. Just be careful when you're out there. It's been a pleasure talking to you. A little Southern California bearded man right there, Pikachu. Yeah, you talk about opening up his own restaurant. So there you go. But Peekaboo, I hope I'll be on here. If not, go ahead and tap your notification bell, and that way when I do get on here, I might be on here in a couple more hours. I'm going to get off here in a few minutes, but I might be on or might be off. But set your notifications on. I'll let you know when I do get on again, and we'll go from there and take up where we left off. But be careful, all right, bud? Yeah, Jane, well, you know, if we were all perfect, we wouldn't really be that, you know, wish we were all perfect, but then again, if we were to live in a perfect world, we would, I don't know what would it be if we lived in a perfect world, but I guess having differences is one way of, yeah, I guess one way of trying to learn how to get along with each other, I guess. I don't know really what you call it. I mean, I think I like different opinions myself. I don't, you know, people that say, yeah, I agree with you all the time, you know, they can't really, they're not going to agree with you all the time. They just can't, you know, it's just impossible. You can maybe like the majority of things I say, or I might like the majority of things you say, but, you know, the other end of it is that we're not going to really enjoy everybody's thing all the time. We have to agree to disagree on that. But anyway, I'll get down here a little bit. I'm going to be right back. Do not go away.
I may have some songs that I wrote.
Oh, shit.
You're a songwriter? Okay, but
Love you.
then, I mean, who would we have sing? Because, I mean, you
What's
could
there?
have Amy, but I'm not going to have lip syncing. Lucy! It's okay. I know what I did. I was desperate after my injury, but I have come to terms with the fact that I can't sing anymore. Because now I know it's
Oh, shit. Oh, I figure I'll take it off there, buddy. Yeah, man. I'm gonna look at my shit. There's nothing to die. Something I'll be right. Fuck the shit there.
Well, I can't go nowhere.
Got a flat tire in the car.
I have got a complete flat tire on my car.
Yeah, she got a flat tire. Oops. Yeah, we're kind of stuck here at the house for the weekend, I guess.
Fucking screw in my tire. So I'm having my mechanic come in, put a new tire
There you
on
go.
for me.
There you go.
That's gonna be going on Monday.
All right, but done about back, folks. Back at just a view.
I told my mechanic, I'm not gonna
Hang on one second.
don't ask to go nowhere with my van.
Oh, you telling Bridget that? Don't ask Bridget. We ain't going over. We're stuck.
I'm really glad to see you so.
I can't believe it. I mean, somebody, it's like oh, what is it,
What can I do for you, Miss Wu?
flex,
Since Brandy insists on getting you in his life, I've decided to
There you go.
continue better.
Damn, man. Gosh, all right. Okay. There you go, anyway. All right, I'm back. Sorry about that. Ooh, sorry about that. I'm hooked. There you go. Maybe my walker got me hooked. That's my chair. All right. Where's everybody from in here anyway? Where's everybody from? Jane from. Yeah. And happy Easter to you, by the way, too. There, Jane. I'm sorry I missed that, but yeah. Happy Easter a day early. We had Passover Friday. Yeah, slipping in my old age about what it is there. I used to go to church all the time and get a little older. Can't really go a whole lot of places anymore. My church has an online thing with YouTube we watch sometimes Sunday morning that we watch sometimes, and so we do that. Sometimes we'll get a gander to go down there. We live about 30-40 miles away from our church, and we moved out, but sometimes we'll go down there in person if we can. But a lot of times we have to watch it on our YouTube channel. We'll watch the preacher on the YouTube channel, and I'm Christian, non-denominational. I have no preference of people, whether they're Catholic or Muslim or Buddhist or whatever they are. I mean, that's just the way I am. I mean, I don't say one's going to heaven or hell than the other one is. But, you have your own religion, that's fine. I respect it. Well, you respect mine, and I respect yours. And I read the Holy Bible. I believe in the Bible. And I believe we're all not perfect. And it's impossible to obey everything in the Bible.
That's good. You saying they're like the actual future?
But I appreciate everybody on who has subscribed to my channel. I hit the